The abduction, rape, and murder of Sian Kingi in 1987 is a heart-wrenching case that left an indelible mark on Australia. Sian, a 12-year-old girl from Noosa, Queensland, was brutally taken from her family and community in a crime that shocked the nation. This video delves into the details of her tragic murder, the intense investigation that followed, and the eventual capture and conviction of her killers, Barry Watts and Val Beck. Sian Kingi, a promising young life. Sian Kingi was a vibrant, happy, and much-loved 12-year-old girl. She was well known in her community for her friendly nature and infectious smile. On November 27, 1987, Sian was riding her bicycle home from school in Noosa when she was approached by a woman asking for help finding a lost dog. This seemingly innocent interaction was the beginning of a nightmare that would devastate her family and community. The abduction and murder. On that fateful day, Sian was lured into a white Ford Telstar by Val Beck, who claimed she needed help finding her dog. Beck's accomplice and partner, Barry Watts, was waiting in the car. Once Sian was inside, she was overpowered and restrained. The couple drove her to a remote area in Tinbirwa, where she was subjected to unimaginable horrors. Sian was brutally raped and tortured by Watts, while Beck watched and assisted. The sheer brutality of the crime left the investigating officers and the public horrified. After hours of torment, Sian was strangled and stabbed to death. Her body was then discarded in the dense bushland. The investigation. The discovery of Sian's abandoned bicycle and the immediate realization that she was missing prompted a massive search operation involving police, volunteers, and the local community. Despite their efforts, it took over a week to locate Sian's body. Her remains were found on December 3, 1987, in Tinbirwa, sparking an intense investigation to find her killers. The investigation was led by the Queensland Police Force, who worked tirelessly to gather evidence and identify suspects. The breakthrough came when witnesses reported seeing a white Ford Telstar in the area where Sian was last seen. This crucial piece of information led the police to focus on known criminals with access to such a vehicle. The arrest of Barry Watts and Val Beck. Barry Watts and Val Beck were well known to the police. Watts had a history of violent crimes, including sexual assault, while Beck had a record of minor offenses. The couple had been in a tumultuous relationship characterized by control and manipulation, with Watts exerting a strong influence over Beck. On December 4, 1987, just one day after Sian's body was found, the police arrested Watts and Beck. During their initial interviews, both denied any involvement in Sian's disappearance and murder. However, their alibis quickly fell apart under scrutiny, and physical evidence began to mount against them. The confessions. Under intense police interrogation, Val Beck eventually broke down and confessed to her role in the abduction and murder of Sian Kingi. She detailed how she and Watts had planned and executed a crime, providing crucial information that would lead to their conviction. Beck's confession was instrumental in piecing together the events of that tragic day. Watts, on the other hand, maintained his innocence throughout the investigation and trial. Despite his denials, the overwhelming evidence against him, including Beck's confession, DNA evidence, and witness testimonies, painted a damning picture of his involvement in the crime. The trial and conviction. The trial of Barry Watts and Val Beck began in 1988 and quickly garnered national attention. The prosecution presented a compelling case, supported by Beck's detailed confession, forensic evidence, and the testimony of witnesses who had seen the couple in the area on the day of Sian's disappearance. The defense attempted to discredit Beck's confession, arguing that it was obtained under duress and that she was coerced into implicating Watts. However, the jury was not convinced by these arguments. The harrowing details of the crime and the evidence presented left little doubt about their guilt. In June 1988, Barry Watts was found guilty of murder, rape, and abduction, and was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. Val Beck was also found guilty of murder and abduction and received a life sentence, though she was eligible for parole after 14 years. Beck's willingness to cooperate with the investigation and her eventual remorse for her actions were factors in her sentencing. Psychological analysis. The case of Sian Kingi's murder highlights the complex psychological dynamics between Barry Watts and Val Beck. Watts, with his history of violent behavior and control over Beck, exhibited traits of a psychopathic predator. His ability to manipulate and coerce Beck into participating in such a heinous crime underscores the dangers posed by individuals with such tendencies. Beck, on the other hand, appeared to be a vulnerable and easily influenced individual. Her involvement in the crime, though willing, was heavily influenced by Watt's dominance and control. The case underscores the importance of understanding the psychological factors that drive individuals to commit such extreme acts of violence and the need for early intervention in cases of manipulation and abuse. Impact on victims' families and the community. The murder of Sian Kingi had a profound and lasting impact on her family, friends, and the broader community of Noosa. The senseless brutality of the crime shattered the sense of safety and trust within the community. Sian's family was left to grapple with the unimaginable grief and trauma of losing their beloved daughter in such a horrific manner. The community of Noosa rallied around Sian's family, offering support and solidarity in the face of the tragedy. Vigils, memorials, and fundraising efforts were organized to honor Sian's memory and provide assistance to her grieving family. The case also prompted a nationwide conversation about child safety and the need for greater vigilance and protective measures. Media coverage and public reaction. The Sian Kingi case received extensive media coverage, both during the investigation and the trial. The harrowing details of the crime, combined with the innocent image of the young victim, captivated the public's attention and sparked widespread outrage. The media played a crucial role in keeping the case in the public eye and maintained pressure on law enforcement to bring the perpetrators to justice. Public reaction to the case was one of horror and disbelief. The senseless brutality of the crime and the betrayal of trust by Beck and Watts shocked and appalled people across the country. The case also prompted discussions about the importance of child safety and the need for better resources and support for victims of violent crime. Lessons learned. The Sian Kingi case offers several important lessons for society. First and foremost, it underscores the critical importance of law enforcement diligence and the need for thorough investigations in cases of suspected abduction and murder. The persistence of investigators, combined with the bravery of witnesses who came forward with crucial information, was instrumental in bringing Watts and Beck to justice. The case also highlights the need for comprehensive mental health services and early intervention for individuals displaying signs of manipulative or violent behavior. Addressing these issues proactively can help prevent future tragedies and protect potential victims. Continuing the fight for justice. Despite the conviction of Barry Watts and Valma Beck, the fight for justice continues for Sian Kingi's family and the community. Efforts to support victims of violent crime and raise awareness about child safety have been ongoing. Advocacy groups have worked to promote better resources and support for victims and their families, emphasizing the need for vigilance and community solidarity in the face of such heinous acts. The legacy of Sian Kingi's tragic murder serves as a stark reminder of the potential for human cruelty and the importance of protecting the most vulnerable members of society. The memory of Sian and the efforts to honor her life and legacy serve as a powerful reminder of the enduring impact of such crimes and the ongoing fight for justice and protection. That's all for today's video. If you found this video informative and want to hear more true crime stories, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Click the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video.